So when I was younger, I had a really bad reading habit. When I was in primary school, I used to read a hell of a lot. And then I stopped reading when I got into secondary school. I had like other hobbies like my Game Boy Advance and Pokemon. And then Twilight came out. And Twilight ignited this love of reading for me all over again, which was like the only good thing to come out of Twilight, let's be honest. But I still had a little bit of a problem. I would only read books that I knew other people had read so that they could tell me that they were good, and I would be like, okay, it's a good book because people think that they're good books. And when I found a book, it was usually a series, and you'll see when I'm going through them, they're kind of the same genre and running theme of Twilight. And I would just read the crap out of that genre. But now many years have passed and I am struggling with one of the most common reader problems. I have run out of spaces on my bookshelves, and there is like 200 books on my Goodreads to buy list, and I need space for all these books. So I'm gonna go through some series that I'm just not gonna finish and get rid of them, give them to charity. Yeah, I just want them gone. I think it's so peculiar that there's book series that I read when I was like 14, 15, 16, and I had 10 books then. I'd already bought 10 books from that series in that time, but they're still going, they're still being published. Like, I'm not being funny, but who's still reading these? I don't know. Some people are. I enjoyed them when I was younger, but obviously my reading tastes have changed, and if I pick them up now, I just don't think I'd enjoy them. Like, for example, the first series, marked by PC and Kristen Cast, I have like 8 books of these, and I tried to reread them last summer, like quickly, really quickly, hoping that I'd be able to catch up and then get the books out of the library and carry on with the series, because I really wanted to know what happened in the end. And I just thought they were stupid, and in book 9 or something, or 8 or something, I don't know which one of the characters that I used to like dies, and I just don't care. And at that moment I realised I should probably just abandon the ship with this series and jump off and never go back to it again. But if you do read this series and you do manage to read the final book, whenever that may be, can you please just tell me whether Zoe lives or dies? Because, not that I care, I just would like to know. This was my first post-Twilight book, and it's about a vampire school, but they spell vampire with a Y. And everyone is basically given an affinity, and the main character has affinity for all 5 elements, and that makes her special. And there's evil, and it was only when rereading this that I actually realised how much I hate the writing style. It makes Zoe seem like really up herself, like a cow. I just hate Zoe. Like, if I met Zoe in real life, I'd probably want to smack her across the face. Yeah, I just don't have time to invest in these characters. I didn't really like them. So all 7 of these books are Go on the Journey for me. Another series that I started around that time is the Morganville Vampires series. They're a little bit more on the grown-up side of YA, and I basically hated the plotline in this. The plot is that Claire is a girl that moves to a town for college, and she moves into a house that 3 people live in. It's 2 boys, 1 girl. The girl's a goth. One of the boys is like really shy, and then the other one has something weird about him. They become best friends and they have journeys and adventures together. I actually have 12 of these books and they're still going, and sometimes I'm tempted to pick them up and reread them, because even though I thought the plotline was too kooky for me, it was really quirky, I actually really enjoyed the characters, and it's one series that actually showed true character development. Well done, Rachel Kane, for that. But 12 books to reread to catch up on the series that I liked when I was like 16. I just can't see that happening. I'm never going to finish this. I've just said it. I'm never going to finish this series, and it feels like a shame because my teen self did love these and was invested in these, and I bought the new one religiously when it came out. But yeah, I got to 12. I'm not sure how many there is now. It's probably like 15. But yeah, thank you, Rachel Kane, for amusing my teenage self, but I'm just not going to finish it. you haven't already guessed, the next book is also going to be a vampire book, and it is the True Blood series by Charlaine Harris. I knew I wanted to read the series, and I picked up the box set which had 9 of them in from the works, and it was like £10 or something, and that was like £1 a book, so I thought I may as well try it. And I read them back to back. I finished book 6, though I had 9, and I really enjoyed them. I read them super quick, and I thought I was going to finish them all and then buy the last book, and then that would be the series done, because I also watched the TV series and I kind of like fell out of the loop with the TV series. So anyway, I bought the books because I heard the books were a lot better, and they are. But yeah, when I put book 6 down, I went to pick up the 7th book, and I realised that I kind of felt like the plot wasn't going anywhere, and it just seemed to be the same things repeated in every book. I didn't really understand why some of the books couldn't have been put into one. I think they do like a bind up now, which is probably a lot better, but I don't know, I kind of fell out the loop with the books, I guess. To me, the same thing was just happening over and over again. There wasn't that much plot development, and once I put it down, I just could not get back into it, and this would free up so much space on my bookshelf, and that could, I don't know. I'm never going to finish this series either. Another series that I got in the works before I went to university, so this must be about 2010, 2011 at a push, was the Mortal Instruments series. I got these free for £5, and I got them when it was like really big, when the books were coming out. I think that the 3rd book was actually the latest book at this point, and yeah, it was getting really big, and free for £5, I thought I would try it. I must be the only person that I've heard say this, but I read like 2 chapters of the 1st book and I didn't like it. I really did not like this at all. I couldn't get into it. I thought the characters were really annoying. I kind of feel bad that I only read 2 chapters. That's all I give it. I didn't give it any more chance. I keep meaning to go back to it, but there's just too many books that I want to read, that I don't want to be spending time on these. So I'm probably going to give these to a charity shop, but if you think I should give it another chance, I'm kind of out of it right now. Like, I'm getting a little bit out of my YA phase. Like, I don't really enjoy them as much anymore. I'm starting to really enjoy adult books now. So, not that I'm saying adults can't read YA, it's just my personal preferences moving from YA to adult fiction now. So I think it's a shame that I have these and not give them much of a chance, but because I've heard they are so good, but I just don't think they're for me anymore. Next, I have book 1 and 2 of the Grisha Trilogy, and these are still quite an up-to-date book series that everybody likes. And I read book 1 and I have book 2. I bought them at Waterstones, and I absolutely hated the 1st book. I didn't like anything about it at all. I only read it like in spring as well. It was only about 2 months ago that I read it, and usually I would read this just so I don't waste my money, but I feel like I'd be seriously wasting my time. I'm not going to finish this series ever. I really did not enjoy it. I'm sorry. I just hated it. Yeah, would rather gouge my eyes out. Then the Delirium Trilogy by Lauren Oliver. I have book 1, 2 and 3, so I have the complete set, and I read this book straight after Shadow and Bone in spring, and I also hated this. I thought the character was just so annoying and one-dimensional. I didn't like anything about her or him. I just had no time to invest my emotions in them at all. So I will not be continuing on with the series, and I think I might give the series away, like in a giveaway or something. Same with City of Bones and everything. Like, I don't know, I might just, because they are in really good condition. Like, when I read books I don't break the spine of them. So these would be in perfect condition for someone to read if they wanted to. So yeah, I might give these away. So if you're interested, tell me in the comments and I'll think about doing that. The last 2 series that I have to talk about, it really pains me to say I won't be continuing on with the series because I liked the 1st book in the series. But basically, the 1st series is the Outlander series, I read the first book I read the first book in like December or January. I really liked it. I left a review for it on my channel, and my grandma has all the books and she gave me the second. Well, I actually took the second one to read, and it's a really long read. All of the books are a really long read. There's like 8 of them. There's gonna be like an upwards of 10, and I just don't have the time to invest in the series. Like, there's a lot more books that I want to read before I get around to reading these, and I would just rather keep that time and space free for reading what I want to read, rather than just thinking I may as well finish the series, because that's going to take a lot of time to finish, and I just don't think it's going to be worth it in the end. I like in my head to think about the first book as a standalone, so this is probably a series that I'm never going to finish. If you never read this as a teenager, I don't know why, because literally like every person I've spoke to has read this as a teenager. It was absolutely huge, and it's Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman. I think there's 4 books in the series now. You usually find them in charity shops. They're pretty common in charity shops. Like, I saw 3 for like £1 once. And I loved this book. This book to me is unforgettable, which is why I've kept it. Like, I can't bear to part with this, and I'm probably not going to give this away, even though I'm not going to continue with the series or read it ever again, just because this book did something to me as a teenager. It literally traumatized my life. I've never read a book which has made me cry so much, and I think I'm just keeping this because if someone says to me I've never cried at a book, I can throw this at them, make them read it, and I can't even explain. Like, it kept me up all night crying, and I'm pretty sure if a doctor had seen the way I was going on, they would be concerned. But basically it's kind of like a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, but Juliet is a wealthy black girl and Romeo is a poor white boy, and it covers so many important lessons that I think everyone should read. It covers racial discrimination and the divide between rich and poor, and at the end you just want so bad to just think what I've read is not true. Like, I will turn the page and it will all just be some dream in her head. It is such a fantastic read that I just don't have words. But if you haven't read it, I strongly recommend that you do. I just can't bring myself to carry on with the series, because if any of the other books are anywhere near as upsetting as what this is, I can't cope, basically. So yeah, they are the series that I'm just not going to be finishing, and in total I think this would this would easily clear over 40 books on my bookshelf, and I'm very happy with that. So sometimes you've just gotta let it go. You just gotta say goodbye to the past. In terms of the Morganville Vampire series and Marked, I'm probably just going to read the Wikipedia page of the last book because I just don't care anymore. So that's it. Yeah, the clear out feels really good. So thanks for watching. I will have a review of Lita up really soon. Bye.